So, can I start now?
Yes, sir.
Right. 1 minute. Good evening, everybody. Just yesterday, we have gone through the linear interpolation course, and I just wanted to switch over to the basic programming. So let us assume that we have to do a program for cutting a simple square. And just the square, the figure that I have been displayed here, just assume that it is a square. I have some difficulties in the drawing. So for our convenience, just I have shown you a square ABCD, and the origin is this. This is the origin. O. Here, what happens? Let us assume that the cutter is at some arbitrary position on the machine here. So the cutter will be the spindle center or the cutter center, both are same. This spindle center will be brought to the origin of the workpiece, and which we name it as G54. So this reference point on the workpiece or the machine or workpiece origin, it is named as G54. And let us assume that this workpiece reference point is at a distance of 250 mm from machine origin in x-axis and 475.25 mm in y-axis in negative direction, minus y-axis. And similarly, it is at a distance of minus 424.22 from Z0. Okay? Here, after we bring the spindle center to this workpiece origin, the cutting action commences from here, O. From here, this cutter will be traveling towards A, but it will stop at a point where the diameter of the cutter will be tangential to AB as well as AD. And this is possible only when we activate the cutter compensation in the program. So let us go to the program now. Now the first line, it is given a number N10. N stands for line number, NC code line number. Here you will be coming across blocks in AutoCAD also, but that is different. Here the block means NC block, numeric code block. Each block will be containing a series of instructions given by us, like N10 T1. In N10 T1, the first line is numbered N10, and T1 is the command, which means we are calling that the tool number 1 into the spindle. Okay. After this, we have to give a command. Here, tool number 1 will be getting ready, and then M6 command will change the tool number 1 from magazine to spindle. That means it will take out the tool number 1 from magazine and insert into the spindle. M6 command. Actually, M6 command is an integral command which consists of around 20 different instructions given to the programmable machine controller. So all those 20 or 22 instructions will be carried out in a particular sequence, and then only tool change will be successful. Otherwise, we will be having some undesired effects in the machine. Some parts will collide and all such things are there. These integral commands are created by or edited by the manufacturer of the machine. Just we don't have to worry about that. And sometimes we have to give all these 22 commands in a subprogram, and whenever we call on that subprogram, the tool will be taken out from the magazine and inserted into the spindle. So the next line, I have not given any line number here. See, a general routine of giving the line numbers is, if there is a program of around 1000 lines or 2000 lines, in 2000 lines of the part program, we will be needing to change the tool several times. And if you give line number to every line, it will be difficult for us to search for lines which are consisting tool change actions. So what happens, wherever a tool change is given, only such lines will be given N10, N20 or N30 like that. And it will be easy for us to sort in which line the tool change has been given. And one more thing, here, whenever a particular tool is inserted into the spindle, whatever machining is there that can be carried out with that particular tool will be finished off at a stretch. And we'll never call the same tool again for doing machining action on the same face of the workpiece. Okay?
Sir, can we make a full screen?
Yes, of course. Okay? So, here in second line, G0, G91, G28, X0.0, Y0.0, Z0.0 and M19. Here, for every NC block, there will be a semicolon at the end of the block. That means semicolon resembles that the NC block ends at that semicolon. So end of the line is represented by semicolon in part programs. So here G0 or G00, both are same. G0 represents rapid traverse. And one more thing, here in the figure I have given you that cutter is at some arbitrary position. From here to X0, Y0, here I have brought the cutter in rapid motion. Actually, rapid motion is represented by dotted lines, but I could not draw that due to my own problems. So G0, G91. G91 stands for incremental coordinate system. Here what happens, most of you would have come across linear interpolations, numerical interpolation. In that, the data is split into several minute portions and analyzed for the performing required operations. Similarly, from this arbitrary position to the X0, Y0, the spindle center has to come without over travel or without committing any mistakes. So in such a case, the PMC will analyze and manipulate whatever data that is required for it in order to come to the correct position as specified in G54. Here, in the work offset G54, we have given X, Y, and Z values. No, all these values are given with reference to the machine home position. But while running this entire program, G54 position is taken as X0, Y0, and front face of the workpiece is taken as Z0 for horizontal machining centers. Okay? If it is a vertical machining center, top face will be taken as the Z0. And if the tool gets into the workpiece, then the depth of the hole will be Z minus in vertical machining center. Similarly, if the tool is above the top surface of the workpiece, that is Z plus. Here, if we consider horizontal machining center, the front face of the workpiece is Z0, and if the tool is out of the workpiece, that is backwards, then it is Z plus. If a drill is used for drilling operation on this particular phase, the drill will be penetrating into the workpiece, then it is Z minus. You would have to understand the tool depths like that. So coming back to this G0, G91 and G28, X0, Y0, Z0, M19. G28 is reference return to the reference point. That means wherever the spindle center is there, the spindle face and spindle axis is there, that will be getting back to X0, Y0, Z0 by analyzing and manipulating the speed of travel, speed of rapid traverse. Otherwise, what happens if the same speed is maintained from the existing position to the final destination point, it will over travel and again alarm will rise and the machine will be coming to a stop. In order to avoid that, as the machine spindle center and the spindle face reach X0, Y0, Z0, the speed of the rapid traverse comes down to 0 and it will exactly stop at X0, Y0, Z0. For executing this sort of action, would have to give the code like this: G0, G91, G28, X0, Y0, Z0, and M19 stands for spindle orientation. Spindle orientation means when we give T1 and M6, tool number 1 will be taken from the magazine and it will be inserted into the spindle face. If the spindle is running at some RPM and all of a sudden if you give M5, that means a spindle stop command. Just it will stop at some angle and this spindle face will be having two tenons which will be accommodated in the tool holder. There will be two slots in the tool holder. So the tenon on the spindle face must sit in the slots provided on the tool holder. If such a thing doesn't take place, the tool will not be getting in the right position. It will be, sometimes it will be at an inclined position and it will be causing accidents also. And in such a case, the tool change cannot be executed. So, M19 command is used for stopping the spindle RPM at one fixed position. And in that position only, you can execute a tool change command. Otherwise, it is not possible. So the next line, M6, 1 minute. Enter. 1 minute, please. Here, I wanted to edit something. After G0, G91, G28, X0, Y0, Z0, and M19, M06 command is given. Actually, I had some problem with editing the file. In the first line, M6 command, I have inserted M6 now. That is wrong. Third line, M06 is correct. So, M06 means then the tool change action will be executed in the third line. Next line is G17, selection of XY plane. That means you are going to do machining operations in XY plane or any face which is parallel to XY plane. And G15 command is cancellation of polar coordinate system. And G49 is cancellation of the tool length offsets. And G80 is cancellation of calendar cycles. And I have not explained anything about calendar cycles. Tomorrow we will go through that. G64 stands for cutting mode. That means cutting action will be taking place in the succeeding lines. And G40 is the cancellation of tool radius compensations. And G20 is the code for metric input. And all these data, we have to feed them in the part program in the initial stages of the program only. And sometimes, as I have given in the next line, the above line is made effective by manufacturer in the start of any new part program by default. The manufacturers will be providing all such commands which have to be given by default in the system itself. just you can avoid this provided the machine that you are operating is having that facility. Otherwise, you have to write down all the previously run commands. Otherwise, those things will be lying in the memory of the machine and the machine will misbehave. And the next line is G0, G90, G54, X0, Y0. That means from the tool which is lying at some arbitrary position will be coming to this position, origin. Okay? And the next Z100, G0 I have given in this line. The same G0 will be effective in the succeeding lines unless otherwise G01 or G02 or G03. Some other command will be coming in its place. So as and when there is a change in the command, we have to give it. Otherwise, the same command will be lying in model format. That model is default. So G0, Z100, G43, H1. As the tool number that we are using here is T1, the tool length has been given H1. D43 is activation of the tool length compensation. Z100 means I wanted to stop the tip of the tool at a distance of 100 mm from the front face of the workpiece. Okay, I just wanted to avoid collisions, so I am just keeping it away from the workpiece. I will not be going nearer to the workpiece because if there is any rapid traverse, it may collide with workpiece and the tool or the work may get damaged. So, and here next line, I have given 20.1 into 175 length end mill. Here all these things have been given in brackets, braces. These braces resemble that it is not a command, it is a comment statement. Actually, there should be the diameter of the cutter assumed in this part program is 20.1, and I have been missing the symbol for dia before 20.1. I just please. And the next command is M3 S450 M07. M3 means clockwise rotation of the spindle. S450 means 450 RPM of the spindle. M07 means coolant on. So I am putting on the spindle and running at 450 RPM and the coolant has been put on. Next statement is G0Z5. Here the cutter is at a distance of 100 mm from the front face of the workpiece that has been brought closer to the workpiece by 5 mm. So the distance between the face of the cutter and the workpiece front face is 5 mm. Next line is G01 Z-5.0 F40. Here G01 stands for linear interpolation. Z-5 means I am giving a depth of cut of 5 mm. And feed 40 means cutting feed is 40 mm per minute. 40 mm per minute. And the next line G1. Here G01 and G1 both are same. Similarly, G02, G03 are similar to G2 and G3. You don't have to use 0. That doesn't make any difference to the PMCs. So I have given a depth of cut of 5 mm and the face of the cutter. It was at a distance of 5 mm from the front face of the workpiece. From there, it will be getting towards the workpiece by 10 mm because 5 mm air gap is there and another 5 mm depth of cut which will take. And then G1 X100 100.0 Y 85.75. That means here this point A. Here the point, the X coordinate of A is 100 and Y coordinate of A is 85.75. So I am giving the coordinate as x 100 and y 85.75. But after that, I have given G42 D01. That means if I do not specify G42 D01, the center point of the cutter will be going to this corner point A. In that case, the material will be cut in this corner, like with a concave cutting action will take place. That means the cutter will dig into the workpiece. In order to avoid that, the cutter has to be shifted towards the right side with reference to the direction of travel of the tool. So right side shifting means G42. That's why I have given G42, and D01 is nothing but 20.1, the diameter of the workpiece. And here D01 actually resembles the diameter of the cutter. In some of the machines, they will be asking for radius of the cutter instead of diameter. In that case, you have to divide the diameter by 2 and enter the data in the diameter D column of the tool register, geometry D of the tool register. Then, next line is, so the cutter has come from an arbitrary position to the origin and from in rapid mode traverse, and from here it has come to 100, 85.75 with cutter compensation activated, and then the cutter is expected to travel towards B with right hand side compensation in every direction, in all the phases. So the next coordinate is x 375.65 and y value will be the same. So here x 375.65. That means here I have not given any G code. In the previous line, I have given G1. This same G1 or G01 command will be effective for all these lines, all the successive lines, until and unless another G code appears. Okay? So, X is the cutting tool is performing cutting action from A to B in this direction, and the cutter has been shifted towards the right side with reference to the tool path. And so we have already reached the corner B. From B, it will be, the cutter will travel towards C, and the coordinate values of C is 375.65 and Y value is 300. Here, X value 375.65 is already lying here. So you don't have to give the same value in the next line. But here in the previous line, the Y coordinate is 85.75, whereas the Y value for C is 300. So Y is changing. That's why we give the value of Y, and no need to give the values for X coordinate of C, because X coordinate of B and X coordinate of C are same. And then from C, the cutting action is performed towards D, up to D. So from C, in order to allow the tool to cut the material up to D, the next command is X100. That means the X value of D is 100 and Y value of D is 300. And the Y value of C also is 300. So we don't have to specify the Y coordinate for D, but we have to specify the X value of D. So I have given that as 100 here. Next, from D, the cutter has to cut the material on the face DA. So the cutter will travel from D to A. In that case, the end point of this DA is A, and the X value and Y value of A are 100 and 85.75. Here, the X value of D and X value of A are same, and we have already given X value of D in the previous line. So the Y value of A has to be given. So that is Y 85.75. And then we have given a coordinate X50 and Y50. That means the cutter has come, let us summarize once again. The cutter from an arbitrary position has come in rapid motion toward X0, Y0. From here, that has been traveling towards A with cutter compensation activated, and the cutter will cut the material from A to B in this direction, and from B to C in this direction, and from C to D in this direction, and from D to A here. After this entire square has been cut, that is instructed to go to 50, 50. That means somewhere here. That means the cutting tool is sent away from the workpiece profile, and then I have given X0, Y0, G40. Here what happens? From 50, 50, the cutting tool will come to X0, Y0 with cutter compensation cancelled. Suppose if the cutter is at this position, that means 100, 85.75 with cutter compensation. And if I cancel the compensation, again it will dig the material, and the material of the square ABCD will be dug by the cutter. In order to avoid that, we will take away the cutting tool. From the profile to a distance which is sufficient for avoiding the collision of the cutter with the profile, and then cutter compensation will be cancelled. And then I am taking back the workpiece. I am taking back the cutting tool away from the workpiece by 100 mm. That is G0, Z100. After that, I have again given G0, G91, G0, G91, G28, X0, Y0, and Z0 and 19. That means the cutting tool is instructed to get back to the machine home position, and M6 command resembles the tool change. That means whichever tool we have inserted into the spindle, that will be sent back to its original position in the magazine. And then M30 program end. That means whatever program we have executed so far, that will be coming to an end. So this is the way in which we write the program. And I shall give another 5 minutes just to go through the details. Madhukar? Madhukar?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to clarify the doubts regarding this particular program now itself. Because...
Okay, sir. We'll go ahead. If you have anyone have a doubt, please ask.
I shall go through the messages now.
Any doubts?
They can't see the slides. Click on. Okay, now can you see?
Are the slides visible to you now?
Okay, click this one. Is this visible?
Are the slides visible now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Go through that. Messages?
check.
Otherwise, I cannot see the.
Check this.
If the people who are attending this class, if they have a pen and paper readily, just copy down these things on the paper so that I can minimize the screen and go through the messages and then clarify your doubts. Because if we do not understand this particular program, it will be difficult for us to go through the advanced topics of part programs.
Hello, sir.
Ah,
Sir, just click once on the screen.
okay, 1 minute. Ah, yes. Okay.
Sir, escape, sir, escape.
Escape. Oh. Okay.
Okay, you are not able to see. Okay, sir. So only one doubt is asking, sir. Is in this why 85.6?
Ah, 85.75.
No, she is asking why. Isn't it why 85.6?
No, not that. I have simply selected the coordinates like that because I just wanted to show them that the coordinate values can be given in 3
Yes,
different
sir.
places.
Yeah, it's okay, sir. She is asking whether it is minus.
Because if the workpiece reference point is lying on the negative side of the axis of the machine, that will be minus. See, unless these people see the practical video of any machining operation, they cannot simply orient themselves to the axis of the machine. So that is a problem.
So someone is asking, this is an absolute system give you. So why we use G91?
See, during the initial stages of our executing our program, I have given G90 somewhere here. You see, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th line. Okay. So here we are making use of absolute coordinates, but while giving instructions to the machine that the spindle face the datum point, that means the point of intersection of the z-axis and spindle face. When you are giving instructions to that datum point to get back to home position, you have to give G91 command only. If you give G90, the machine will travel at very highly enormous speeds, and that will override, and that will trip away the machine. The machine cannot be operated thereafter. Okay.
So someone is asking, Avita, can you ask directly to the sir in the voice?
Sir, I just 1 minute. ఏంటి
ఇది ఇది
full screen. I wanted to go through messages going by.
ఒక నిమిషం ఆగు, just leave this.
Sir, open the chat box.
Now I am going to the messages. 1 minute.
Yeah.
When the cutter moves from C to B, the X value should be negative positive. C. X value here with reference to the workpiece reference point, Mr. Rohan K. Acharya. We have been asking that when the cutter tool moves from C to D, the X value should be negative or positive. Here what happens? We are not expressing the destination X value and Y value of destination point with reference to the previous point. And for all the coordinates of the part program that we have gone through now are lying on the first quadrant of the G54 X0Y0. Okay, so all the points are in positive side only. It is absolute system we use, right? So G90. Mr. Kedar, whenever we give instructions for the machine to get back to home position, we have to make use of G91 command only, not G90. If you give G90 command, the machine will travel at very high speeds and it will over travel. That's why G90 should not be used. Peddi Pavitra, you are asking for minus 85.75, no? See, all the coordinates of the square program that we have assumed now are lying in the first quadrant with reference to X0, Y0. That's why everything is positive. So if it is plus, then doesn't the tool go up instead of coming down? Never. It will not go in a wrong direction. Because while before writing the part program, we have simply written down all the coordinates of the transition points, and with reference to those points only we have given the program. How much distance between the tool arbitrary position and reference point is measured? See, Mr. Kedar, arbitrary position means wherever the tool may lie within the work area of the machine. Let it lie there. Once you measure the distance between workpiece reference point and the machine home position in x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and if you feed those three distances in G54, automatically the spindle will come back to G54 X0 Y0. Okay? G43, how it is used? See, in tool offset registers, we have selected tool number 1, and for this tool number 1, we will measure the distance of tool tip from the gauge plane of the taper. That particular distance is entered into geometry H of T01. Automatically that will be considered as the length of the tool. So when we have given a command G0 Z100 G43 H1, that means tool number 1 is instructed to come towards the workpiece but stop at a distance of 100 mm from the front face of the workpiece. That is the way in which we express. Okay? Next. How the distances are measured? Mr. Kedar, the distance of the tool, the length of the tool, and the diameter of the tool can be measured by using micrometer. And for measuring the distance of the length of the tool, we would have to clamp one reference piece and measure the distance between the home position and that particular piece. And by touching this cutting tool to that particular workpiece, you can just take the values on the monitor and subtract the distances, or there will be some means you will understand by yourself. Once you switch on the machine and start measuring the cutting tool lengths, you can understand. Otherwise, there are tool presetters available in the market. The tool presetter is used for measuring the length of the tool and diameter of the tool. So, even by using the tool presetters also, you can measure. Okay? Soil nickel. At last we have moved the tool to X50, Y50. Why? And we move the tool directly to X0, Y0 coordinates. Of course, you can directly go to X0, Y0 including G40. But what happens? Before the tool is instructed to reach X0, Y0 or reference point on the workpiece, it is very important for us to cancel tool radius compensations. Otherwise, sometimes the tool will collide with other portions of the workpiece or mounting equipment. So we have to give that in advance. Okay? And if anybody have doubts, please send a message to me and I shall clarify. Sir, we are using a absolute system in this. Yes. Pavitra. We are using absolute coordinate system only. That means all the coordinate values are expressed with reference to x0, y0. And if at all we use incremental coordinate system, the first point will be x0, y0, and thereafter we will be expressing the coordinate values of the points with reference to previous point. In that case, the distances parallel to x-axis and y-axis will be calculated and entered. I shall prepare another part program using relative coordinates with the same figure and same dimensions, and I shall insert a slide by tomorrow. Okay. Kedar, what is M30? M30 means the end of the part program. That means there are no more instructions given to the cutting tool or cutting actions. That is the end of the program, and we can either, if we have multiple workpieces, we can go for other workpieces, or we can switch over to some other program. As soon as we switch on to a new program, this particular program will be deleted if it is in manual data input. If it is in automatic mode, you can save the program that you have already edited, and if you need another program, you have to edit that and save in the memory. And whenever you need these two programs, you can just call by its program number and execute it. Any more doubts?
Yeah, hello everyone. Do remember that you all go through G codes and M codes which we have shared yesterday. The full list of the M codes and G codes will be shared soon, okay? Regarding that, if you need anything, please let us know. If you have any doubts, you can ask now. Thank you.
So here, just all of you must remember only one thing. That is, this slide that I have shown you is the part program for a square. If you do not understand this thing, you cannot go ahead with writing a part program for other components or other profiles. It will be difficult for us. So be sure that you have understood this perfectly. Again and again, until the completion of this particular course, if you have any doubts regarding this, just get them clarified, and you can feel free with me to get the clarification. I don't have any problem. Okay? You are always welcome. Okay, very good. I have been observing that Mr. Kedar is responding positively, and I am very much impressed that he has been raising doubts at various stages. Whereas there are some other people who are not at all asking anything. Mr. Akash Parsi and Vatsavai Nitin, Krishna Prasad, and there are several other people. But nobody have asked anything so far. See, Mr. Nitin, I have actually this is the first time for me to conduct online class, and I am not exposed to these CNC simulators and such facilities.
Yes, sir. I will add it.
Okay.
Vastav, Nitin, we don't use same software for many missions. The software depends on varies from or depends on on the machine we use. So we don't have any particular software which will be using for the entire CNC system. That depends on machine. Machine will be giving the packages. Okay, that's it, sir. I'm saying, sir, that will be varying from the machine to machine, na? What we are saying,
Yes.
programming will be varying from machine to machine, na?
Not that. Here, what happens? Actually, we don't have sufficient time to go through the details. So we are just covering the basics of part programming only. Here, what happens? There are around 26 PMCs available in this world. Out of 26 PMCs, FANUC PMC is there, Cinemeric is there, Heidenhain is there, and there are several other PMCs available in the market. And each PMC will accept a particular software, and there are several hundreds of software in the market like Delcam, Mastercam, and for example, in Cinemeric system, the programming is done with the Step 7 language, whereas in FANUC it is different. Like that, there are various compatibilities with various systems. So unless we are provided with all such details, we cannot simply say that it is possible. Okay. But one thing is there, in any machine, there is a facility like test cut. That means without actually performing any cutting action, you can just put on the program and see the execution of the program on a graph, on the graph on the CNC monitor. That facility is there. Once the program is proved in the test cut, you can directly go for execution and manufacture the work components. Okay. Any more doubts? Okay, Madhukar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let us get back to that program.
Which one, sir?
The same slide that I have.
Okay, we want to continue the class, sir.
Yes.
Sir, but 7:30, some people left out.
Okay. Around 5 to 6 people have left out. No? Okay, let's just tell everybody that to revise the same slide. Tomorrow I shall provide another slide with radii at corner fillet radii, and further there will be a slight change in the part program, and I shall show them how to do part programs in incremental coordinate system also, so that all their doubts can be clarified. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So here we have a option of generating the program by Mastercam. Because we don't go for a Mastercam because the person who is handling the machine, the technician, knows very well how the tool goes on and how the workpieces can be fitted. So every time we can't depend on a Mastercam to change the program. So in many industries, most of them are used directly program. They will just program, but without only manual. Some program will be left out, which will be handled manually. So once we manually program on the CNC machine, it can be stored in the CNC for later use.
Madhukar, 1 minute.
Yes.
Here what happens, Mastercam, Delcam and whatever CAM software is there, all such CAM softwares are used for preparing the part programs in which the coordinate values of every point change in X, Y and Z, because it is very complicated to manually write down the program. For programs which can be executed with simpler coordinates, all such programs will be written manually. Okay. For example, we have gone through the program for square. If it is a program for a turbine blade, then you cannot write down the coordinates of every point on it. Then you will make use of Mastercam or Delcam or whichever is available in the market. So that is the way. Why? Basic thing is we have to manually practice how to write a part program. Once we are familiar and well versed with the programming codes and the system, then we can go for software and we can edit the program, including the complex curvatures in the 3D space. Okay? Right, Monica? Okay.
Sir, yes, we have a new program called CAN program, CAN cycles, which will be explained to you later, okay, in the later sessions. Is that okay?
One more thing. There are around 2 to 3 slides I have to prepare. I shall prepare today. And after going through the remaining 3 slides, we will switch over to CAN cycles and how to make use of those CAN cycles in drilling processes, boring, tapping, and all such operations can be covered within 1 or 2 classes. Okay, so total we may be needing another 2 or 3 classes from now onwards. Right, Madhukar?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. You can leave the meeting for today. We have done for the day. Thank you.